Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. All right, so I love your comments. You guys are just awesome. I love you sharing stuff that you haven't told other people. You are in good company. We're all experiencing some very bizarre things. I want you to know the earth is shifting. In fact, there are actually real things going on with the planet as far as time speeding up and you know how everything's positioned. Of course, you've experienced some weather changes. All of these things, you know, nothing stays stagnant. So I want you to know you may be experiencing some bizarre reality shifts. It's so important for us to ask ourselves every moment, is what I'm thinking or about to say a positive message to the universe? I want to emphasize that because you're going to experience some things that are a little bit different when you start to transition into a higher frequency and the fourth dimension. That means that this really holographic, manifested reality of ours is not as solid and real as we think it is. It's as real as we've created through our manifestation, our beliefs, and all of that's sort of dissolving. So what happens when that dissolves? Anything. We've talked about people transporting themselves, things moving. I've had that happen recently. So I want to share a story. Somebody asked, they said they love it when I tell this story. So I'm sure if you haven't been on my channel for a while, you haven't heard the pen story. Now, I am a writer. As you may or may not know, I wrote an award-winning, best-selling book. It was turned into a television movie. I love to still write. I write on my computer, but I like to write by hand. There's an energy to that. And by the way, if you take my courses, if you sign up here, you can go into an email list that announces my courses, events. You get inspiration from me every week. I like to write things. There's an energy in that. In my courses, I actually prefer that you have a journal and you write things. The thoughts and the energy, nothing is disconnected. So when you pick up those pens or you write in that journal, there's an energy in it. That's why when you write down, and I have a book called I Am awakened. I am a light into this planet. I am healthy, wealthy, wise, caring, loving. You know, you write these things in there. There's an energy that goes to it. So I buy really nice pens that never leave this house. I take the cheap ones out and I put the more expensive ones right next to my computer. Now, if you know me and you've signed up for my internet training courses, I work on a computer for a living. So I have two laptops that sit next to each other because I always need a backup. And I line my pens up between them. They're not going anywhere. They're right here in front of me. They can't roll this way because they're perpendicular. And they're right there, all lined up. I know it sounds a little anal, but you know, I love my pens. And I pick the right pen for whatever I'm going to write. Well, one day, my favorite pen was missing. And I, for the life of me, could not figure out where it was. And I looked absolutely everywhere, and I ripped my whole desk apart. There's not too much to go through. Went through every purse, you know how it goes, and didn't find it. So I let it go. Well, months went by, and every once in a while, I tear the whole desk apart again. You may have experienced this, right? You lose something. Somebody just told a story about their cell phone. Her and her daughter ripped the whole place apart, walked in the room, and it's sitting on the floor. I had that happen with a cell phone, too. Tore my car apart, got in one day, and it was sitting right in the middle of the floor. Who knows what that is? But I lost this pen, but I thoroughly looked everywhere for it. A few months later, I sort of forgot about it. I thought, doggone it, where is that pen? It has to be in the house because I know I would never take it out. I would really like that pen back. And then I didn't think about it. About an hour later, I think it was not a very short period of time, I walked back to my desk, and right between the computers, the laptops, was that pen sitting there. Now, I just want to share with you, you know, the pen can't roll. It has one of those little clips on it. And even if it did somehow slide down, I don't know, it's a flat desk, how did it end up parallel with the other pens in between the computer. How did it get placed there? There is no logical explanation for that other than there was some kind of a reality shift where in my mind the pen was back sitting there. It was on my mind, but not in a need or one, I have to have it, I was worrying about it. It's sort of a, gee, I wonder what happened to the pen, it'd be nice to have it back here. That's that letting go that allows things in. So that was a reality shift. I want to share with you when you are very conscious of your thoughts and you're catching yourself in anything negative, you're avoiding saying anything negative to somebody. There's a way of speaking to people that can still be very positive, that gets your opinion across. And it's so important for us to do that with each other because that energy that you're putting out is the energy of you. And when you're on a higher frequency and you're respecting the other, you're respecting yourself. When you're speaking down to another, then, and there's any anger attached to that, then, that's what you're connecting to, right? That's the frequency you're on. So when you go in the higher dimensions, you're going to notice more reality shifts. So those of you who are experiencing these bizarre things, somebody told me that something was sitting there and bent over and came back up, and it was like some impossible crazy thing, and they were watching it. I was sitting at my desk 2 days ago and everything just did this. So, you can blow this off and have some explanation in your mind, well, maybe I lost balance for a minute or something. That's not what happened. But don't discount these things. And have fun with it, because what's happening is everything sort of, I just think of it as a holographic universe that, blanks out once in a while. And then you're like, wait a minute, what just happened? And when you go into higher frequencies, you start to experience different things. I have not been experiencing the physical changes the last few months, but I was drastically there for a while. I know you guys were too. Diet changes, which I completely did. I was told I don't have to eat. When people go, what, told? Who told? When you guys are hearing stuff in your head that is not you, you're not even thinking about something, you get a message like, make that phone call, right? I had somebody that did that, put it off, and he was 1 hour too late, and a friend of his died. Act on those things. If they are positive messages and you have no reason to question it, as anything other than that, really start listening to yourself, because these veils are coming down, the density's coming down, and you're going to be more inclined to speak kinder, to be more open, to let go of having to have the material things. Somebody said, what's up with this money and the lottery? And I agree. It's like, that's the density of having the material world make me happy mentality. When you let that all go, you're going to notice some really freaky things happening, and then you can get excited and know that you've let go of that material world that holds you down into all of this that is not as fluid as the higher frequencies, where stuff's going to show up and messages, and a lot of you guys are getting some awesome messages and numbers and stuff like that. People will show up, somebody's going to say something to you that you're like, whoa. We've been experiencing, my friends and I, some absolutely freaky things. Another reality shift. I came back from Tennessee, and my friend and I looked at the clock. It's a 3-hour drive, always. In traffic, maybe a little longer. And we got back here in 2 hours. Well, when we got here, along the way, we're very aware that we had lost time somewhere. And by the way, we stopped twice. We got gas, and we were trying to find an ice cream shop. And so had lost some time there and actually got home an hour earlier. Now, so I'm thinking, when we were in the car and I said, we can't be in Chattanooga, this is impossible. We just left. And Chattanooga, is not too far from Atlanta. And I was sitting there looking at this clock, and I said, oh, that's right, it's an hour difference. Well, herein lies the problem with that. The hour worked against us. We were actually we were losing an hour coming back. So it looks like it's a 4-hour drive when it's actually a 3-hour. This was a 2-hour drive. I cannot explain it. The second time we came back, which was 2 weeks later, we saw 1111 on the clock, 1111, then 222 was on a sign, and then 333, then 444. It just kept going. It was getting really, really freaky, but fun. And I love this. I feel like I'm more connected to that other side. So if you're experiencing that, enjoy it and be open to it, because fear is always a block. There's nothing to be afraid. You are that. You are the massive other side that's so powerful, and it's opening up to you. Another thing, somebody was saying I should, astral project or go on the pyramid. I have no desire to do that, but hey, if I do it, I'll let you know. But I have been feeling very much outside my body, and if you're doing I have a couple meditations where we push our energy out. You're connecting to what you are, and you become less conscious of your body, which is a density, that keeps us in this me mode. But when you push your energy out, you start to really connect to all that power, and you'll actually feel less connected to your body. You actually feel like the room is bigger, things become more intense. That's a higher frequency. All these really cool stuff. Love you guys sharing your stories, but the pen was a little bit freaky. That I just sat and stared at it and said, oh my gosh, did I just shift in? Did that appear? Or did I shift into another reality where I never lost the pen? I don't have those answers. Some things I have opinions and ideas about, but I don't have those answers. There's no one way to think about anything, because everything's possible. And your reality is what you believe it is, so you get to create it. That's exciting, isn't it? If you want to believe something that, I don't really adhere to, it's not right nor wrong. There is no right nor wrong. You get to believe that, and that's your reality, and you can create that, which is very, very cool. So get busy. What do you want to create? What do you want to believe? Because that will be real for you, and you can manifest that world. My world is a peaceful one where people care and love each other, that we don't care about our differences. We actually celebrate them. I don't get this, differences thing. I don't get it, because the whole beauty of being human are our differences. But we, through those, not liking the differences, we're separating ourselves from each other. And that is getting further away from connecting to a higher frequency, because you are not separate. We are one energy. And the more you sense that, the more you become at peace with the other person, the other culture, the other color, the other sex, or the other personality, or whatever, and you accept it as something beautiful and expressive of what energy you are. You are one of those expressions. Let's celebrate it. You don't have to agree with each other, but think about what you're putting out there. What are your thoughts and ideas? Try to get at that high frequency. When you start experiencing the reality shifts, you're starting to get there, and you're going to feel it too. It's just going to feel really good and peaceful and light. And things won't bother you. People could say anything to you, and you're like, okay, that's cool. You can believe that, whatever. So you are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Keep going. Don't ever lose your faith. And don't expect things to happen in a certain timeline. They'll happen when they're supposed to for you, and it's going to be exactly when it's supposed to be at the best time, and you're going to learn from it. You're going to experience beautiful things. Know this. And every challenge is an opportunity for us to learn and become better. It's the universe saying, these things need to be changed. You can work on this, or here's a challenge. Can you take yourself to the next level? And the answer is, as you know, I always say, yes. Namaste, my beautiful light being.